Hi, everybody. It's Jesse Ziegler from Cycle News. That's Ryan Nitzen over there. We just wrapped up our 2023 250 four-stroke motocross shootout.
The Honda is completely unchanged. We really liked that bike last year. This is the second year of this generation.
Yeah.
Really great engine package, but that bike is also is pretty much unchanged. But that leads us into another red bike, and unfortunately, the Honda finishes in 5th place, just above the Gas. And last year, this bike was totally all new, and our guys all really liked it. And it was in 3rd. It was on the podium last year, but this year it's kind of rounding out the pack as well. So
that's how competitive the market is right now for new stuff, and how quickly you can see some weakness in a bike that doesn't quite handle as well as the upcoming improved bikes does.
And I think a lot of guys a lot of things that we favored last year, obviously the bike hasn't changed. So a lot of things that we raved about last year, the motor, how the engine comes on, the different mapping. There's 3 different maps on the Honda. There's standard, smooth, and aggressive. And that aggressive map is super fun to ride in, especially when the track is smooth and like in the early morning. But what happens is later in the day, track gets rough, and that bike just feels really stiff and really rigid. A lot of guys we were fighting with suspension settings, opening up compression, opening up rebound just to get it to free up more because it just feels so bound and tight.
It does. That's a good way to describe it, is bound and tight. Anything outside of, especially the front end chassis feel, is nothing but positive. The engine is amazing. The electronics are really easy and effective. Ergonomics, it's still the class leader for ergonomics and how it feels when you sit on it.
As the number 1 to sit on, the rider triangle, the way it feels.
It doesn't have a weirdly gigantic fender now. It doesn't have a weird airbox where the gas tank should be. Like it just fits and feels amazing. It just has a handling issue with the front end. The fork is too stiff. The chassis isn't helping that by being highly rigid. Clearly, this bike is purpose built for a handling character that is above what we feel is comfortable, but it also clearly translates into being a massively good professional motocross bike if tuned and dialed in with factory parts and being this thing. Like that stiffness is calculating the supercross wins and motocross wins
too. Is like changing lines on this bike in a fast section is so easy because the bike's so stiff and responsive.
Yeah, it's not wallowing or getting down in the stroke. It's always like it's ready to bite.
The Gas and the Honda are almost opposites, but the Gas we felt was like too squishy and the Honda's too stiff. If we could soften up the Honda, it would be really good. If we could stiffen up the Gas, it'd be really good.
Just meet right in the middle and they get a winner maybe.
That's kind of how the Honda falls this year. It was just, we love the bike, and when it's our own bike and we can ride it on our own and we can dial it in, but for 2 days of testing, same thing. Second highest score.
Just a little hard edge on the handling is really knocked down the Honda. And again, other bikes are moving up with improvements.
Be sure, guys, check out. We're gonna have a whole write-up in Cycle News Magazine, a weekly magazine. You're gonna find that at cyclenews.com. All of our social channels, Cycle News. Follow us on YouTube, everything like that.
Yeah, just keep watching cool motorcycle stuff. I don't care where you watch it.
We do care. Cyclenews.com. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you next time.
Later.